is that asking too much of this team a year after?
Jump back into the conference finals right and new Paul George.
And their division is so tough. I think
Maryland as tip-off approaches.
Detroit Pistons come into this one after the win against Chicago. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all there. They got it going. It was full speed ahead.
The thing I took away from that game was just how dominant they were on the backboard.
Well, it would have been hard not to see how dominant they were based on the numbers. I mean, they just completely dominated the glass.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. And so in the game for the Pacers, George Hill out there with Ellis. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Allen. And it's Hill in at the center. Here's Hill. No good.
I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity here, guys, to get on each other's bad side. I mean, if they weren't already. Should make for some fairly high drama.
Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see.
I don't think bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx, but I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
Now here's Ellis. What a tremendous game he played against Utah. Goes up, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Here is Hill after the basket by Detroit. Another shot. Good D by Drummond.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Jackson against Hill. Jackson misses.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
And the basket by Hill.
You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh no, oh no, oh yeah shots.
Jackson drives in, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
That's good from Jackson.
And guys, Reggie Jackson was at the end of a yo-yo last season. He starts at Oklahoma for an injured Westbrook. Westbrook comes back, sends Jackson to the bench. Then Oklahoma sends Jackson to Detroit, where he fills in for another injured starter in Brandon Jennings for the rest of the year.
Jackson hits both of them. Now getting back to Jackson, he showed several times last season that he has that starter ability. The Thunder knew they wouldn't have the money to re-sign him, Clark, in free agency, so they traded him to avoid losing him for nothing.
Yeah, that's a good move. And with the Pistons, Jackson finished the season strong, while the Thunder, without Jackson or Durant's contribution, missed the playoffs for the first time in years. Whoa! Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they are not backing off at all, are they?
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Pick up by Hill. That's tipped and stolen by Ilyasova. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
And the basket good.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
And the basket by Hill.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today. And their offense already in a flow, some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Pick up by Hill. It's back to Hill. Lots of room. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. 6 points for Hill. And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, that's right in Auburn Hills. I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there.
And for the Pistons, a lot of their woes here at home were due to defense. I mean, their 18-23 home record comes from allowing too many good looks for their opponents.
And the Pistons, how about starting out 2-13 at home? I mean, they did turn it around afterwards, going 16-10 to finish out the season. At least they seem to be headed in the right direction.
No good on the second free throw.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for...
Well poked. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
Hill kicks to Hill. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Hill's got 8 points. And for the Pacers against the East, they actually played the rest of the conference, Greg, very well. Ended with a 28-24 record, Clark, against the East.
The only team, Kevin, in the East with a winning record against the rest of the conference not to make the playoffs. Only went 10-19 against the playoff teams in the conference.
The Pacers shooting their first free throws of this.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lows.
The drive by Hill. Rebound, Detroit.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall.
And here is Hill. He's got 8. The feed now to Stuckey. They get a hand on it. Fast break, Detroit. And here they go. And again, it's Dwayne Wade. Wade's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And no doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
I talked to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and, you know, still to this day. That's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And, you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Pistons.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. Hill is out there with Mahimi. Then there's Rodney Stuckey. Then it's... Oh, wow. It's a beautiful jam.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that.
And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball. And Jackson throws it down. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rack.
Check out the fellas. Check out his teammates over on the bench. So they are going crazy.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got. You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
Stuckey into the lane. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first two attempts. Now 1 for 3.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
That's good. Jackson's got the lead up to 14 now for the Pistons. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
From the high post, kept alive, Mahimi, and he dunks it down.
Just a terrific effort on the offensive glass. That's how they're going to cut into this league.
And Greg, a dunk like that is sure to give them a spark.
Which is a spark they desperately need, Kevin. They've got to ramp up the intensity.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
And here we go. Pistons running again. And it's Leonard with the jam.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Now here's Ellis. He's guarded by Meeks. Now Detroit moving it up. Jumps up.
And they missed one. Remarkable shooting here.
Stuckey with it. Guarded now by Jackson. And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And with that speed, once he took off, the D just had no chance of getting back.
Well, I think they did the right thing. I mean, just give up the 2 points and move forward. Hey, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes. Write that one down, game players. Discretion is the better part of valor.
Screen by Ellis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one's good. And that's now 7 points for Paul George.
Yeah, they've gotten into a nice flow this quarter.
Yeah, looking to turn things around here, Greg, and cut into this lead.
And that one's good.
Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range. Trading blows from behind the arc. You know, for the past few seasons, guys, Detroit had been a team that struggled to punish teams from the perimeter. Last year, that was not the case. They showed dramatic improvement in being a threat from behind the arc.
Timeout called the Pacers. As you said, the Pistons became a team that could hurt you from deep. They set a franchise record for most makes per game and almost 9 made threes per contest.
And it wasn't like Detroit was forcing it. I mean, they were just good at shooting the three. I mean, they finished in the top 10 in the NBA in both total three-pointers made and three-point percentage.
So Detroit ends up going with the new group. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Allen's checked in for Hill. Hill comes in for George. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Monte Ellis. And it's Hill in for Rodney Stuckey. The Pacers have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Hill passes to Hill. Mahimi dishes to Miles. Johnson with the block. And there's going to be a foul. He definitely made contact with the ball, and in doing so also got the body, so we'll see free throws here.
C.J. Miles.
And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Johnson. The Pistons working the ball around now. And Howard, here we go. There's the bucket. Good.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint. And talking about C.J. Miles, he was filthy last year. Indiana needed his spark offensively, especially without Paul George in the lineup. Miles responded by putting up career highs in points and minutes played. Just an unbelievable impact on the season.
And Indiana shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. There's 48 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Hill has the open look. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
And for most every team out there, guys, they're looking for a guy like C.J. Miles. Decent size, natural movement skills, and can absolutely shoot the lights out. Call them buckets, because that's a lethal formula.
Morris passes to Caldwell Pope. Another three for Detroit.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Here's Miles, and that's good off the glass that time.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
In the corner, it's Morris. Lets it go from the wing, and it is good at the buzzer. Wow!
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
You know, as a defending team in that situation, it really irks you to give up a shot like that to close out the quarter. You know, oftentimes those end-of-quarter points can be the difference in a ball game.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. The Pistons on top, running away with it. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I'm here with Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne, what about the way the offense unfolded allowed you guys to get things going?
We just gave each other some space. The court was open a little bit. I think Coach did a great job of making some adjustments. We was all being able to attack.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. Detroit finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. And we'll go to Kenny first. What you see out there?
Well, how about that ball movement? That was a true definition of team basketball. All 5 guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana?
Ernie, they are way too weak defensively in the paint. They're getting walked over down low, giving up a ton of points. Barbecue chicken everywhere, with the sauce, without the sauce. We're having a Thanksgiving feast in here. That's a recipe for disaster. They cannot keep letting guys drive the lane, layups, lobs. Defense is weak, Ernie.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
I'll tell you what, he put together an entire highlight reel in that first half alone. Just a collection of spectacular dunks.
An explosive display it was, fellas. They might have to get the backup rim ready if he keeps attacking the hoop like he did before the break.
They've got Drummond. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Ilyasova. Then it's Jody Meeks, and it's Jackson in at the 1. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy.
It's been about tempo and pace with this group, and it's led to a huge advantage in fast break points.
Greg, is really the main reason they're in front. All that early offense. I mean, when they've had the chance to push it, they've pushed it. Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. Oh,
chance to get back.
For Reggie Jackson, the league is going the right way in terms of his skill set. Everyone loves the guard who can shoot well enough to bust the zone, as well as make plays for others and at the rim. And Jackson is that guy.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Allen drives in. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. In the third spot, the Pistons.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to getting position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
And that one falls for Allen.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them. They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Outside Hill. Back to Allen. 5 on the clock. Lets it go. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about. But all around, the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yeah, third in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench. First in the NBA in bench rebounding. And top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Pick up by Hill. Ellis dishes to Hill. Now Ellis looking for his first basket still in this one. Meeks with the steal. Up the floor. Here's Ilyasova.
That's his second personal foul.
For Detroit, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. No good on that one.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Wayne Wade's checked in for the Pistons. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for the Pacers. The dish to George. Pick up by Hill. Allen, a screen on Wade. George. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, as you said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement. And, Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assist and cutting down the turnovers. It just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play.
Howard's checked in for Detroit. Johnson comes in for Meeks.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
Wade gets the bucket.
And all of a sudden you can see the confidence overflowing offensively.
Getting everything to drop at an ideal time. I mean, they're poised for a terrific crunch time run here. Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Detroit making a switch here. Morris is checked in. Mahinmi's checked in for the Pacers. Solomon Hill comes in for George. Johnson kicks to Wade. Shot clock at 6. And the shot is good from Johnson.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Stuckey passes to Hill. He's looking for Mahinmi and finds him. Right side Hill. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Jackson against Hill. Johnson dishes to Jackson. 18 feet out, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Wade against Stuckey. Right side Hill. Dwight Howard pulls it in.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Wade. All alone. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Now, that was an incredible reverse throwdown right there. Tremendous body control.
I'd even go as far as say, Clark, that was a punctuation dunk. Huh?
I can feel that.
Sending a message.
How about, guys, that's one of those dunks that you probably want in your career highlight reel.
It's stolen by Wade. For the finish, flushes it down to finish the break.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Stuckey kept alive. Mahinmi kicks to Hill. Will it go? He takes it up and lays it in. Hill's got 12.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Pistons ahead, just dominating this one. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And a look at the five for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. They've got C.J. Miles, also young out there. Solomon Hill is out there with Turner. And it's Whittington in at the four-man position. Young with the steal. In the corner, Miles with it. Wide open look. Jump shot is good.
C.J. Miles.
Miles has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Pacers. It's Jennings with the drive. That's good.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
Young pass to Hill. From down in the low post, it goes. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Jennings dishes to Tolliver. The shot's good on the assist by Jennings.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
And Young kicks to Hill. Ball's knocked loose.
He'll thank them for that because he got a chance to perform a little razzle-dazzle on that one.
Whittington kicks to Young.
And, you know, the NBA loves to experiment with different rules in different ways. The D-League last season used international rules for goaltending. And that small change makes a huge impact on the defensive end.
Leonard, he's checked in for Marcus Morris. Here's Whittington. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. And for the international rules of goaltending, players are allowed to touch the ball after it hits the iron, even if it is over the cylinder.
I'm not sure if the NBA is going to adapt that rule, but I think it wouldn't be a big deal to adapt it because there aren't a lot of times that play happens in the game. I think it would be a small percentage of those plays over the course of a season. Another bucket in the paint, that's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Young against Jennings. Shot clock at 5. Young passes to Miles. Shoots. Jennings with the rebound.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open. Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
And Young kicks to Hill. Young, a screen on Leonard. Jennings against Young. Hill dishes to Miles. The pass to Turner. He kicks to Hill. Young from outside. No good. Great D that time from Jennings. Detroit's gotten off 4 shots from three-point range tonight and buried every one of them. Leonard kicks to Caldwell Pope. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got assist number 5 here tonight.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Pass to Baines. Leonard on the wing. From the stripe. Can't get it to go. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Young with no one around. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Leonard, the pass to Jennings. And another 3 for Detroit.
It took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Passes it to Miles. And here we go, the Pistons fast break.
And Clark, that's really deflating for a team to cough up the ball and have it turn into points immediately on the other end.
You know, Greg, it feels like giving up 2 baskets, the one you didn't get, and then the one you allow the opponent to get.
Here's the screen. The drive by Hill. Pass to Turner. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed it.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Howard's checked in for Aaron Baines. Morris comes in for Anthony Towers. And it's Johnson in for Kawhi Leonard.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Pistons.
They really had it going, Clark. Their offense propelled them.
Yeah, in this case, it was the higher shooting percentage that made the difference.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You'd love to get an opponent figured out early when you're going to be seeing them that often.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Leonard. Every inch of the floor was his tonight as he came out and injected an energy into every play.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
Knocked away. And now the Pistons fast break. Here's Caldwell Pope. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a 3-point opportunity.
Full throttle, pedal to the metal, attacking basketball. I like that.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Young outside. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans, too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game, they were in it. And that certainly helped this crew get to the W.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Dwayne, you had a huge impact on the boards tonight. Was that something you tried to do?
Yeah, Coach told me to rebound. I've been trying to rebound lately, so just trying to get down there and help our big guys out.
You did exactly that, Dwayne. Thank you. Kevin, over to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
There's no question about it. As far as small forwards go, Kawhi Leonard is right up there with the best of them. You know if you leave him open, he's going to knock it down every look he gets. But what makes him elite is his stifling brand of D.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.